last episode, as we discussed the controlling behaviors of physical, verbal, and emotional abuse. I would encourage you to check out part 1 if you have not already. The next form of abuse is going to be a hard one to talk about, ladies. A lot of women have dealt with this form of abuse over the years. I think over the last couple of decades, we are really finally waking up to the fact that this is not okay.
Sexual abuse. Has anybody know of anybody in their circle that's had that in their life, in their relationships?
I wouldn't say sexual abuse as far as, and you mean like sexual abuse as in on the borderline of like forcing, or do you mean
forcing, or
I haven't heard. I don't think I've experienced manipulation. I think a lot of us women can all agree, maybe different parts of stages in our life, that men tend to use sexualness as kind of a, hey, you want this? So a lot of mental sexual abuse and mentally using skills that they may have, and things like that. Because the biggest quote a woman usually says, or your friends will say, is, girl, he's just so, or it's just so, after telling you a whole life story about how he almost killed you. But that sexualness always seems to be the bigger picture. That's the experience I've had. I'm not saying that I've ever thought that way.
That's like a soul time. Where the sexual portion just keeps you locked into those bad relationships. I would have to say I did have one relationship to this person. Towards the end of the relationship, the sexual part was, done, because it was, basically over. And at night, he would come in and I would be asleep, and for, maybe like a minute, kind of hold me down for a little bit. And I had to kick him off, and he just, let go at that point, because, he could have overpowered me if he really wanted to. But I kicked him off probably 2 or 3 times. But that was, an ordeal. But that's probably the only time that I could say that I've had any kind of sexual abuse in my personal life. But I've heard plenty of friends that have had that happen to them, and this is not a good thing. And if that's something that you're dealing with, you got to get out of that relationship. You shouldn't have to feel like that you should be forced into a threesome, or letting them have outside partners if that's not what you want. You shouldn't feel like that you should be giving up the goodies if you don't want to. If he's kind of holding you down or anything like that, that's not good, ladies. That's not good. Let's get rid of that person, because that's not a good thing if that's going on in your relationship, for sure.
So like you just said, if they make you feel like, and things like that. So what's your outtake on like swingers who are very open? Do you think somebody in the relationship is being manipulative or something like that?
Well, it could be. I mean, if you're not into that, then you need to let them know. But there are people that, will, manipulate you and try to force you into, having threesomes or groups or whatever.
Say things about spicing it up.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah, try to gaslight you or whatever. Say, hey, let's have that third person because of XYZ, and you really not feeling it, but they're pushing you to do it. No. If that's not what you want, don't do it
Right.
because you're just gonna regret it.
And it's never
You're
gonna be
just
just
gonna
one
regret it.
time. It's
Yeah,
not gonna be
it's-
one experience. Put it out.
Right.
So have you had
Or-
any experiences? D, Lisa, have you? Sexual manipulations?
Well, back in the day, back in my heyday, I was dating somebody, and yeah, they wanted me to explore a what do you call it, polygamy, or
Polygamous.
swinger, or
Can you
add on,
Can you
or
give our audience? Can you please let them know what a polygamist is, please?
I guess multiple people in one relationship. I guess back in my day, many years ago. Many years ago.
You're not that old.
Thanks, Elaine.
It's all right, just keep going.
But yeah, I was, somebody wanted me to get into that type of situation, and when you're young and love and dumb, you want that person so bad. You think about stuff that you never want to do, to keep them. And I thought I wanted to be with them so bad, but when it came down to it, I didn't want to be with them that bad.
Right.
So
Right.
it didn't go down, but a lot of times, a lot of men these days will try to get you to go and ask somebody.
Oh, they're getting very creative. Men these days, they want to make it an outing. Babe, how about we just get dressed? How about we just go? And you know what, babe? You know what? I'll let you even pick her out.
Right.
Oh, okay, thank you. Like, it's just, it's just like it's like the modern day pimp. I mean, really, it's not about the gold chains and fur coats. Now it's just about getting in your girl's ear and just saying, hey, babe, you said you want to spice things up. We've been lagging. Sally Sue hasn't been coming through.
Go get that one over there.
Go get that red over there. I'll be Jack. She'll be Sally. All right. So, but what we're saying is, don't fall into that stuff. Don't fall into those whispers in the ear. Don't fall into the goosebumps that you will get. Do not worry about all those things, because if a man's about you and everything like that, you will be sexually good enough. You will always be sexual good enough. If your man ever feels like he needs to bring somebody in order to spice it up, then you know what? We got a you guys problem now. Because another woman will not spice it up. It's just going to cause you more headache. So let's not even get it started. And trust me, it will never ever spice it up, only for the minutes that it's happening. So ladies, don't even go down that road, please. And then want to cry afterwards and, do all that. Just don't
Or
even
you
get it
might
started.
even catch feelings for the other person.
Absolutely. You know what?
That's
I
a whole
you know
nother-
what? Now that you said that,
That's a whole
I'm
nother
gonna tell you something. Now let's just go down another level. Okay. So this is why actually I haven't ever been able to do those types of things. Yes, back in my heyday, I had relationships and I had people say things, but the type of woman I am, I'm a very selfish one. I'm a very territorial one. So I never understood. I never could grasp the threesome thing, or let's bring a woman in thing and stuff like that, because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna tell the audience, I'm gonna tell y'all like I'm telling him. I will be daggone. I'm sitting there and I'm watching, because I'm supposed to be all for you.
Right.
My body, my everything's supposed to be all for you. So why would you want me to give that up to anybody else?
But does anybody know of anybody that really has those relationships and really are okay with it? Like, do you think some of these relationships that are polygamous or, a whole bunch of people, do you think?
No?
Well, does anybody have Will and Jade on speed dial?
Well,
Hold on, where's my phone? No.
Okay. No, you know what I find with the swinger things or something like that, maybe with the older, like the older couples, or maybe the older when, like you guys, and now you do want to spice it up. Maybe it does need to be spiced up, but you know what, you lived your guys' lives, and maybe now it's just time to have fun. Maybe they're okay with it, but when you're young and things like that, to me, I don't see how it's not an all-out brawl. I don't see how it's an all-out fight. You think you're going to do all that and that girl leaves, and you want me to believe for 1 second that's going to be the last time you talk to her ever again?
Right.
The devil is a whole entire lie, and so are you.
Right. Right.
Okay? So that's how I feel about things like that. So again, ladies, and as you can see when you call in, listen, ask for the random venter because I'm gonna talk to you and I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is, how it is, and how it's going to be because I know. Now we can talk about next. All right. Yeah. Good subject. Good subject.
She had a memory. She had a memory there, like, yep.
You might want to invite those people on the show.
No, by all means. No. Like you said, you gave them the information if they want to write in. Please, by all means. What was it again? Can you say it again for me?
Vent365podcast@gmail.com if you want to be a guest on our show.
Mm-hmm.
Or
All
your
right.
stories.
And your stories, please, by all
Yes.
means. We can take stories for days. When, trust me, no story. Oh, there's no story that's going to shock us. Trust me, okay? You have a different panel of ladies here. We've seen it all. We've done it all. So please believe, this is a place for you to vent. We are here for you to vent, and we will vent with you. Mm-hmm. You will never be alone calling in here. Trust me. You will never, ever, ever be alone. We've all been through the same things, just different ways.
All right, so another way of controlling behavior, digital abuse, which, it's more of a newer thing since it's more technology based, by stalking or harassing or bullying through social media or text messages or emails and things like that. Have anybody of any cases or had anything like that?
I don't know if we mentioned it. I don't know if you just mentioned it, but I will say another form of digital abuse can also be, when you're comfortable in that relationship and you send pictures.
Yes.
Those things that's the biggest thing now.
Yes.
Biggest thing. All the way down to middle school, high school. Yes. The biggest thing right now is, yes, of course, the bullying. But as far as the sexualness, when you're in a relationship, you don't think nothing of it. You send something, and then when things go left, you sit back like. It would literally take for somebody to upload it and send it to my boss.
Right.
Exactly.
And women don't understand that, and I have been guilty, and may hell freeze over if they ever. But I'm just saying, back in my heyday, I can just. I'm sorry, you guys. I just had a moment. I'm so sorry. But as far as especially the young girls, God, if I could just get a group of young girls just to call in or even just be guests on this show, I would tell them, like, I'm telling you, and people think for 1 second, listen, once you hear that click, baby, that's it. Once you hear that click, baby, that's it. Hey, all right, write that down for me, somebody. Somebody write that down for me, thank you. All righty. So, but with that being said, a guy might just say something like, babe, let me see what you got on. All right, babe, let me see. And you're just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
And so, but just
Next thing you know,
understand.
it's on Facebook.
Okay, it's just like the law says. Click it, ticket, click it or ticket, baby. So don't put yourself in those modes because I'm telling you something. I've been blessed until this day. My cousin here has been blessed until this day, and I'm telling you right now, because it takes somebody just to upload and send those pictures. It can ruin your job. It can ruin your life. And people will keep pictures for years.
Mm-hmm.
Like how many situations, maybe an actress, maybe or whatever like that. You have a nobody from back in your day, and you know what? With our society, they're gonna treat it like you took that picture yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is this: let them pictures come to you all you want to, but you know what? Do never put yourself out there, ever. Don't ever put yourself out there like that, and I mean that.
Well, back in the day before social media, because
Right.
we're kind of, we're not old, but we're, mid-age.
Right, we didn't have to.
We didn't have to worry about that. We can take a picture and, we didn't have to worry about everybody and mama seeing it. But
Right.
now,
Absolutely.
nobody's
Nobody's gonna come out with like that big old Polaroid because now, nobody's gonna say, why don't you go ahead and spread it and bring out this big old box. No, now you have young men like you'll be doing something like that, and they just
Right. Yeah.
and you might be going to town not knowing daggone well that you're on live.
You're being recorded.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, your phone's blowing up. Next thing you know, you're every type of name in the book, and all because of what?
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Why, seriously, why does anybody need to see that? And when you ask them, because baby, there's something maybe if I want to look at later on or whatever. No, because that's what you got the side chick for. Stop playing with me. Don't send the digitals, ladies.
Yeah, I got
Right.
2 young daughters, and I'll be
Seriously.
daggone. I'm
Yep.
gonna tell them straight up. I best not see any picture of you floating on them daggone thing
Ever.
when y'all get a little bit older.
Ever.
Y'all better not take. I'm looking at y'all right now.
Mhm.
I don't want to see no type of pictures when y'all get a little bit older, because we ain't back in the day. I know there's some pictures of me, on Polaroid probably, back in my day.
But you
You know.
but you
Not-
look
not
good.
you.
But you look good that day, baby girl.
Not even.
That prom queen
But-
look good.
But now there ain't no way I would have somebody take a picture of me now. Facebook came out when I was in college, so after
Man.
Facebook and all this social media,
Your kids can
You
also
just-
see your pictures one day too.
right? You don't want your kids seeing those pictures. So girls, if you ain't, even if you're married, but you got to be married before you take some pictures. Don't be taking pictures for your boyfriend.
Listen, I think the only
Because-
pictures that should be taken maybe like some like boudoir. You know what I mean? One of those boudoirs that's like a thing, but anything sexual, anything a sexual act or something like that, I just don't see the purpose of. I don't want that to be in your phone. If your phone breaks and my stuff has to go to T-Mobile, now Philip, Tyler,
They can see
everybody
it.
that's seen my tatas, my cootie cat, and everything. So let's say I'm the one that comes in and picks up the phone.
And they're like, "Hi, Miss Brooke."
You have a good one, man. And you know
Hey,
what?
Miss
We
Brooke.
went ahead and took that $15 off. But if there's anything else that you may need, please, by all means. So, you know what? There's nothing to complain about if you just don't do it. I'm telling you. You might think that you might think it's just between you and that person, but it never goes away. When people put something on Facebook, may it even be words, may it be bullying. Once you click that post, I don't care if you press post delete. Honey, no, somebody has it. Trust. Somebody has screenshot it. It might have been me because I'm a screenshot queen. Okay?
The iCloud has it too.
All right? So things don't ever go away. We got backup. Even when I try to put something in the trash, for some reason it's still there. Not an archive, not a trash can. It's still there. All right, what's the next one?
All right, financial information, limiting access to finances, assets, or bank accounts. Anybody have any financial?
I'm gonna be completely honest. This is probably gonna be the one that I probably talk the least because everybody that I've been with have been absolutely just raggedy. So there is no financial anything that they could hold over my head. So hopefully you guys have a story because this one I don't have. All mine been raggedy.
Lacey, have you had any? Have you had any?
We're not talking about recent, honey. We're not talking about recent. Back in your heyday again.
No. Honestly, it's probably been them taking my money.
Man.
But no, I haven't had nobody of power over me.
Them apples don't fall too far from the
waving
tree, do
money
they?
or nothing like that. I've been, unfortunately, been like the breadwinner in probably all my relationships, but a couple. So I have not had the financial abuse type of thing. I have
But
people.
Didn't you have a situation back in your past where it was more of a financial concealing with your ex-husband when you didn't know much, like really you guys didn't know much about him. I mean, you didn't even change your last name, so I mean you didn't know much about him. So how was that
He
being
kept
married?
his financials.
Right.
Yeah,
so
I didn't
like,
know.
I mean, you were actually married. So how was it being married and literally not knowing a daggone thing about them?
Well, I say this, and I know you're supposed to, wait till you get married to live with somebody. But you really don't know somebody until you live with them. I don't care how much you've known them before or what have you.
Very true.
Until you live with somebody, you really don't know. I thought he was okay financially to get married. You know, I got errands and somebody coming knocking on my door.
I was on the phone, baby.
And you know, they.
You was on the phone with her when it
I
happened?
was on the phone. We were talking about something. And Dee was like, "You gotta be in there." I said, "What's wrong?
And
What's
take no
wrong?
furniture.
What's wrong, Dee?" She was like, "There's an errands truck out of my door, and they're here to come get this TV." I said, "Dee, what are you doing?" She was like, "I'm answering the door." I said, "Dee, I'm like, no. You're not picking that stuff up here. Go ahead and take the TV. Go ahead and take it." He said, "Lacey's not the one. She's not.
Yeah.
She's not having
so-
nobody come into her house."
Mm-mm.
So
I
remember
like
that.
people have their finances together. They ain't got to be millionaires, but you know, you shouldn't be looking to have somebody to, you know, gain credit or what have you. You should have at least something. Don't use somebody to get up in that realm, because you should at least have some type of financial stability before you get married. But I didn't know. I also didn't know he was a smoker until we got married. So,
Okay. Tell all our smokers out there, we are not. This is not.
you
this
know,
is not
I didn't
first time.
know, but and that's off subject. But
Very much so.
well, you don't know people until you get until you live with them.
We could use another example.
Yeah.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't.
So, recognizing signs is a first step, but taking action is crucial and can even be life saving. So, what kind of steps should people take to, you know, make sure they're coming out of that situation?
I know this is gonna sound so cliche, but the older I get, this is really the absolute truth. But when somebody got to, if there's one red flag and you think that's gonna be the only red flag, and I mean, when you got red flags in the beginning, if you have somebody that you've been dating and they're asking you questions or they're asking you things that just don't make sense, if they want to, if they want to know financial things about you, sexual things about you, but they don't even know your favorite color, we have a problem. Okay, just be smart, and just know there's not a young man on earth that is falling in love within the first couple of weeks and all the violins and the cheese and all of that. It's not real. It's not. So you guys have to be smart. Don't depend on somebody being smart for you. Don't depend on your family to be smart for you. Because at the end of the day, you're going to do what you want to do. So you have to be smart on your own. And the first step with that is recognizing what's right in front of you. Because I'm telling you something. These men and these women, they're telling you who they are. Especially the ones these days. They're not even acting anymore. They'll call you a B-word on your second date. But that's because you told them you like it rough, so you think that's okay. No, it's not. You really have to care more for yourself, and care and know what you deserve, and know. Yeah, you have to setting boundaries. You know, before you get into a relationship, you know, you tell yourself what you're gonna put up with for the first week, for the first month, for the first. You know, you set your tone. Women tend to let men run it. And then we want to come in and then try to be all bossy-wassy and things like that. No. You know what? A young lady, a woman needs to be in a situation where she can run it. So if he has that moment one day where he wakes up and he does not want to be with you, you know what? You can shed your tears, but you know what? You're going to be okay. So set boundaries. Not only for yourself, but for the relationship, for your mental health, for everything. These are the kind of talks that I wish that I would have paid attention to. So setting boundaries is definitely a big one. Speaking up, talk to your people. Okay. Now, trust me, I'm from it. I have a very, very powerful family who is a very, very opinionated one. They have all the answers. They have all the guidance and everything. But even though that everything that they've said has came to light or came true, we all know we're not going to make a move until we feel like it. But what family can do by you speaking up is speaking up. letting them know, just being there for each other. And lastly, just take control of yourselves, take control of your lives, take control of who you are. And that's,
Yeah. Have an
And don't put
exit
up with anything.
strategy. Plan ahead. And get a support system. Collect evidence. Document what's going on. Have that documentation. So, if you're in that situation, just seek help. Remember, help is available. If you're in a controlling relationship, you can go to your local church. You can go through your work employee assistance program. You can call the National Domestic Hotline. That's 1-800-799-SAFE. Or you can text Love Is to 22522, or you can visit the hotline.org. But this wraps up part 2 of our discussion on controlling behavior. We hope we are bringing some things, some awareness to this situation. I know there was a lot of laughter right now, but it is very important that we seek help if we are in those situations, and it's really not a laughing matter, even though we were laughing today. But we're just trying to spread a little light on the topic it's hard to talk about. So with that, does anybody else have anything else they want to say?
I'll just real quickly say in closing, yes, there was some laughter, but this is a very, very serious matter. It has to do with a lot with mental health. Me, your random venter, I've been through a lot myself, so I'm not just up here just talking. So when I tell you to always protect your peace and just protect yourself and your mental, and everything's going to be all right. But it's a very, very serious subject, and just don't let anybody steal your light. And you are enough. Always tell yourself,
Yes,
you are enough.
You are enough.
I would also say too, definitely let people know what's going on in your life, whether you feel like you want to talk about it or not. Let somebody know if you've ever had some violent thing happen or controlling thing happen. Let someone know. I don't care who it is, but you gotta let somebody know. And just always just think about yourself, and just think, if I keep doing this or keep being into something like this, is it gonna ever get better? Likely no. So nip it in the bud, talk it out, don't be in the dark, let people know. And like we said, we were laughing, but it's very serious, and we just want you to be able to get the resources that you need to make sure you're okay. And we're here for your venting and just to keep loud on this subject.
Yeah, so don't remain trapped in those controlling relationships. Ladies. This wraps up. This concludes part 2 of discussing uncontrolling behavior. This is Vent 365, and that's all for now.